Okay, so we're here with Stars of Akarios. And we're going to do a bit of a live unboxing. It's eventually come, which I'm very excited for. Obviously, playing this way back in 2020 when it launched, I was able to do a bit of play testing, play the game with Brendan and many of the others on the community. And we realised then how good, especially the ship combat, because that's the thing that was properly flushed out at that time. The ship combat was. Obviously, it's getting really good reviews. It's been received really, really well as a game. So I'm just really chuffed to actually receive it at last and have a little look. So this will be a, by the way, I did not pledge for the chariot as well. So that's what, for packing purposes, for the factory, obviously, they need to know which ones did and which ones didn't, because the chariot would be part of that. Okay. By the way, I've got the core box, I've got the ships, I've got the neoprene map. So I'll be showing all of those in due course. Okay. So to start with, we've got the map, the star map, which shows from one galaxy. So we're going to assume that we're in one galaxy. And then you got the Rathans, Astradia, Thressen, the Abyss, Draconian, and the UIA. That's a cool little addition, just for reference purposes. Obviously, you've got the punch boards. We've got 5 of those, including all of the standees for the ships, which should be really, really handy for painting reference art. And you see how the styles are kind of almost like comic book style. That's what I'm going to be aiming for on the ships itself with the contrast paints. And we've got the terrain tokens as well. Won't need that. Player boards. Oh, so good to actually get this in real life instead of on Tabletop Simulator, which is really cool. Dual layered, straight as you like. I heard about the no warping. Real clean print on it. Really clean print on it. Love that. And they're going to be awesome. So you get 4 of those, of course. And we'll keep those there to the side. Right, so the first game trays. So if you weren't aware, we've got game tray storage solution in the box. With all of your cards to start with. Really nice, solid. Oh, real nice. I mean, it's game tray, so you expect it. But really nice, solid plastic. That's not going to break anytime soon. So really, really handy for things like that. If we look at some weapon upgrades, let's just open that up. Just to show you an example. So Proton Blast, oh, I remember this one. Where's Long Shot? There it is. So Long Shot. So if you decide to grab this weapon, it goes into this slot here. You keep cubes in here, which I saw linked there. So you've got your player coloured cubes. So red, for example. And you've got your supply. So when you use your engines, your tech, your upgrades, your weapons and your engines, you'll have a certain number of supply, which is the number of turns you can go until you do the resupply. Now they did tweak this after play testing, so this is much more easy to kind of pull off. Maybe too easy, I don't know, we'll see with a playthrough. And then you place your dice onto here. We're going to show you dice in a bit. You've got effects and everything else, and they've actually got a little cheat sheet a bit later on, which shows all the effects as well. But really nice, and you can see here, it's you know, I've got it at a 45-degree angle, and it stays in pretty well. So they're not going to get, when it's horizontal and flat, they're not going to be moved around at all. So that's the weapons. I've got to remember I've got that one there. And I did say that unfortunately these have been packed upside down. They should all say start here, of course. Modifiers, that's all good. Engines and weapons, and so that's the way it should be. I mean, these are double-sided anyway. These are the enemy ships. Regular, elite on the other side, with their abilities, and we'll show what they are in a bit. So, loads and loads of upgrades and everything else. These are your upgrade modifier cards. You get your normal modifier cards, I believe, and the little player, I should say. Really nice. Love that. Okay. Your 4 starting characters and their upgrade pads. Great thing about this, look at the amount you get for each one. That's going to last you a long time. Multiple playthroughs, different people, whatever you want. Really, really nice. Love that. And to show you a kind of let's go with ooh, nice. That doesn't look like Ember. No, that's Guardian, I think. Guardian. Who's this guy here? And in your little player box, you have your ship. Oh, now this is what I'm obviously big painter, so yeah, real nice. I really think their quality, that for what you've got and what you need, quite big as well. A lot bigger than I thought. And then in goes the without breaking it. It's a tight fit, but it fits all the same. Nice. There's the character. Which is pretty cool. Of course, I will show all of them. Does it fit with base on? No. So that will have to be base. Anyway, here's the modifier deck. So this is the same modifier deck you get for all characters to start with. Obviously, it is a campaign game, story game, so you will upgrade your character, and one of the ways of doing that is upgrading these cards. So you've got modifier, and you've got your zeros, plus ones, minus ones, times 2 and a miss. Okay, to start with, minus 2s as well. So, and you get 1 plus 2 as well. So you've got your starting deck. You've got your cubes, which you can put in under here. Oops. It might be black cubes actually, rather than red cubes. I'd have to have a look, see what cubes we're talking about before I throw them all into there. It's not player color cubes actually, what I thought it was. You've got some different ones. You've got red, black, yellow, and blue and purple. But you only get 5 purples, so I think this could be to do with the Sparrow, possibly. And if we take, for example, let's organise this a little bit better. You take your modifier deck. Right. You've got space for your character and a space for your ship as well. And I'll show you in a minute when we get our cards out how that works. Okay, so let's have a look at the other characters and the other starting ships. So starting characters, starting ships, 4 of each. We've got this long one, which is that? Perhaps that's dust. Actually, I could have that wrong. Oh, I have got that wrong. They weren't the 4 starting ones because we've got Violet Ray, which is this one here, I believe, which is down here. pretty awesome. Just the Gnosis. That was the Argonaut before, I believe. Really solid, sturdy bases, by the way. Well, actually, this could be the Argonaut now. No, I kind of remember. Was this Devastator? I can't remember the names of the ships now. It's been so long since I played the game. Cool ship. Not the Enver, I think his name is. Bit of a flat pose, but you know, I'm not too fussed about the ship miniatures that the things I'm really interested in. Charis? No. We'll see what these are called in a bit. That's pretty cool. That's a cool ship. And Starla? Yeah. Oh, so perhaps these. Oh, right. These are the starting four. Those were the expansion ones. Grood is the one that we had before. Yolindo, Grood. Oh, maybe Starla. I thought it was Enver. I think it might be slightly mixed up. We'll find out for sure. But there we go. All the mission pads. This is the squad pad for your squad, your different pilots, and where you've gone through in the story. Establishments and sparks. So Starla. Again, they're very flat poses so far. The only thing I would say, not very dynamic in terms of their poses, but well, apart from this guy. Or girl, I should say. They are pretty dynamic pose, so that's cool. I would have liked to see a few more like that. And you got the Sparrow Tray, which is where you're going to keep your progress. Dual layered, single layered cover that goes over the top, so you can put your cubes inside of there. If I remember rightly, the black cubes go in these ones. Where you've got your time, so rounds when you're doing certain ship combats and land base, you've got your supply, and you've got your hull of the Sparrow as well. It's also immune to quite a few things because it's a big ship, which I'm going to show you now. So here is the Sparrow. A very cool ship. And you will actually use this in space combat scenarios as well as the space exploration. I can't remember how that went in. There we go. Okay, so you'll be able to put things into here, different supplies, dice, whatever really you'll be instructed to do in the game. Okay, we've got the cardboard board and the rule book, and so the board's pretty cool. It's got this kind of UV spotlight to denote the hexes, which is actually really quite cool. It's a real nice board, actually. Yeah, appreciate that board. And obviously it's double-sided if you wanted a bit of background onto it. And that same comic book style. I think most people probably aren't, especially if you've got terrain, which is there as well. Okay. Got the rulebook. Handy little, I thought it was in here. No, it's not in here. I'll show you the bit. Then we got the big scenario book. Okay, this is where all the story is. If you've played any story campaign game like Gloomhaven or Awaken Realms games, you'll be used to one of these. Or played hack games. They do kind of storybooks as well. Slightly different, you actually play on those ones rather than... And as everyone's mentioned, this is a chunky beast. But really nice. I love the fact it's ring bound. That, God, so glad people are doing that for these things. And it shows you how to put it all back here, which is quite handy. If you get confused and how did that all go? What's this? What's that? This might tell you a little bit about those. Okay. So again, I'm not going to spoil this. Real good quality paper, so that's going to last as well. Then you've got eight of these. I'm so happy they did this. At one point they had 1 to 5 and then they had like 5, 10, 15. It just didn't make any sense. This makes so much more sense. 0 to 9 in digits and then going up 10, 20, 30 for the really big ships. And you'll be able to put your enemy cards into there. I mean, the same size as this. So get your enemy cards, put them into there, slot them into there. It tells you the stats and everything else for them. Really nice dual layered again. Just really crisp graphics on it. Yeah, that's what I really appreciate. So they're cool. And then we've got space exploration cards and reference cards. So these are really handy. I mean, it doesn't tell you what they do, but at least you know what they are. And then you can go into, okay, you got the page reference for where you go in the rulebook. That's cool. The phases. World exploration, space exploration, and then you get 2 sets of those, and then you've got your systems for space exploration, where you'll be sent to different missions or whatever it might be from the scenario book. So that's really quite cool. The question is how well kept in all this stuff. And you got your bases for your standees. So you see here, you'll be able to put your standees in here if you don't have the ship expansion. So actually I'm just going to get rid of those because I'm not going to be using them. And then you get your dice. Remember the Sparrow Tray, that's where this goes. And then you've got your normal dice. Engraved. So yeah, really nice, high quality. Roll fine. And everything else. You got your 4 for each player, amounting to 16 dice. Then we've got some expansion stuff. So unlockable characters, not in boxes in this case like Gloomhaven or anything. So you can see them straight out the back. Dusty, one of the community's favourite. They got model bases, however. That's cool. I mean, they're all identical model bases, but still, that's cool. Walking stick, a bit like Yoda. Another year. That's a cool pose. Oh, I like that. She's cool. A bit like an android, yeah. Ships wise, Charis isn't here, that's why that's blank, I believe. I don't think I'm actually missing a ship, hopefully. That's cool. I remember when the campaign was going, we had, which was cool, the community had choice to vote on ship designs and everything. So Oomm Games have been absolutely fantastic with involving the community since day one, and their communication, everything, and Discord has been brilliant all the way through. It's been a bit quiet up until things started getting delivered about 2 months ago, because ultimately we're just waiting for the game to be manufactured. but people started getting their game 2 months ago, and I think some people have even finished the whole story, so pretty impressive. And here's me waiting for it to come. Look at this thing. That's cool. And last one, which is like the vertical ship. You always got to have a vertical ship in space. Very, very cool. Okay, so putting these back, whew, it is very warm here in the UK at the moment. So we've got lots of space for all the tokens, terrain, everything else that you might have. In fact, that one's probably got to stay there because that'll be used, I'm sure, for when you do punch out all of those. When I do punch out all of those. For now, you know what? I'm going to keep everything together for the minute. Then it was this. Went here. Hold it together that way. Probably that way. That makes more sense. We can put that in there as well. Put that in there. Yeah, good, solid fit. I'm wondering when these boards go on there. Then it was Sparrow and the 4 of these. Which reminds me, I need to put the guys back for this one. Really looking forward to painting these. And the character cards, ship cards are all in the punch outs. Now, obviously, these will be in either the Sparrow or whatever it might be. Oh no, it wasn't. I know what that's doing now. So you need to put your pads. Pads went there, didn't they? Those pads went there. That seems a bit high. No, it's the same as before. Okay. I'd say let's put the other 4 in then as well. So they're flush. We could just put these. No, put them away, haven't I? I'll just put them like. Oh dear. Right, okay, never mind. Scene oval, here oval, and then that one goes on there. These sit in here, do they? They kind of sit in there, yeah. And then obviously the all these punch outs will be inside, so therefore you've got a flush, hopefully. Yep, you've got a flush game box. Right, mat time. See what we've got. Neoprene mat. First thing, what's the stitch like? Yeah, looks interesting. Looks fine. Looks good. Looks solid. Nice weight to it. Yeah, nice. I'm going to keep that there for this. Whew. Oh, I forgot the galaxy map. As we move on to the ships. So, to replace all the standees in the game, and you know, I haven't painted ships before, so I had to get this. I originally just backed the original, just the core set, and then later on I added these 2 to the pledge, especially after I realised how much I liked neoprene mats. So these are the ships. So let's put them to the side now. As I open up that one. So the first thing to note, you've got the standees, of course, for all of your ships, because you're no longer going to be using those sorry, the stands for the standee holders for those. And you've got two different heights. Starting with the Ronin kind of scouts. And what I can do is just do a okay. Really cool. Got like a shield at the front. I love those ships, they're cool. And them really quite quite a lot from before. They've got these kind of tentacle style ones. I mean, these ships are freaking cool. Are these boosters or? And also got different levels. So don't know if you can see that in the camera. You'll certainly be able to see that as we move through. We've got this one here, which is kind of, I think this is a year. It's a normal year ship, basic fight ship with the anti-grav, I guess. Got the more traditional UIA. Look cool. We got these, which are the frigates, I think. Right, and then we move on to the slightly bigger ones, starting with the, as they call it, the space whale. It really is. I think this is year. Actually, I'll see that one. Tight fit on the old bases, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Oops. This one's, I mean, you're scared of breaking the bases because you only got a certain number of them. And that one seems to be quite tight fit. But it's cool. Right, so moving on to, oh nice, Ronin frigate. Look at that, so cool. And that one went in really well. Very similar to the Scouts, but obviously bigger. And this is what you didn't really see with standees, because they're just pictures, obviously, on the standees. So, especially in TTS when I played it last. So seeing these and the scale they're in, it's pretty cool. And then, look at this monster. Looks like it's got teeth on the front. That's so cool. Imagine missile bays and things like that. Then linked to that, that other one, got the frigate type class drill. It looks like if I say ram characters and send them flying, I don't know. And by the way, you got two of these. Got four of the Ronin frigate. The Ronin, I think, are the main enemy for the game. Then we got UIA, I think. Cool ship. That's cool. I like that. I think I'm gonna have to spray paint these with the bases in, or else you're going to get, because it's a tight enough fit as it is. Oh, look at this. This is cool. I like that ship. That is awesome. That's cool. And then we got, as people have called it, turtle, which stands up on its own. Ooh. Let's say that. They are stiff, a stiff fit. Which I don't think is a massive problem, it's just you've got to be aware of it. And then the biggest ship in the box, the Titan. Look at that thing. Perhaps should use a bigger base, I don't know. Look at that thing, that's insanity. That's cool. There we go. So they're the ships of Akarios, as they call it, which are basically all of your enemy ships. I think enemy, although I think you might have some allies in there as well, to kind of help you out, perhaps, move around as it goes on. Really, really cool. Just to show. The cardboard cutouts. Most important. So here we go. Victus, that's what it's called. So, for example, you've got the ships. Really good solid card. Come out really well. So you've got the Gnosis. Shows you the colour scheme, effectively, which I'm going to paint with. As you can see, you've got that kind of. It is that kind of comic book style, which I want to try, I think, with your hull and shields. Okay, really good for shields, and the specialism of that ship. And then you've also got your terrain packs, which are your terrain ones as well. And I must have missed out, yes I did. Then your four, that's them. Your four starting characters, and you should be able to work out who they are from the thing. And then you've got your health and then their attributes. Okay, so Starlo is an all-rounder. You've got all four stats, but then you've got some which are better strength. Obviously the Enver's good with his hand, dexterity, I guess. Whereas Violet Rain's the most intelligent, you could argue. Well, along with Guardian. Guardian seems pretty cool, actually. But yeah. Okay, and then you've got all the standees for all of your different enemy ships as well, which would go into the standee bases. They are different sizes, so you should be able to tell the difference, but it's not quite as good as the real ships, is it? For me, anyway. But you got to be painting anyway. You've got your numbers, which go on to show, to know which ship is which character, which one relates to the one inside of your enemy decks. You've got your little character tokens, which I think you put in the character ships to show who's piloting them. And then you've got your tokens for your terrain. There we go. So that's Stars of Akarios unboxing. Hope you enjoyed it. I cannot wait to get to the table. I'm really contemplating whether to record a whole playthrough. I've tried that with Solomon Kane stuff. I think it's because of the kind of spoiler nature of it. I don't know if it's worth doing. I also did, way back when, I did a PvP rule set for this game, which I'll be looking to use on the app, which you can get for Stars of Akarios from all app stores, I think it's Android and Apple. So you can create your own scenarios, campaigns and everything else. So what I'm planning on doing is adding the stuff to that and then share it with the community, see how it goes with that app. But the app's going to be massive. I really foresee that as soon as Brennan mentioned about this app as it went in the Kickstarter campaign, this companion app, and then the idea was to open up to the community to create their own content, I thought, yeah, that's just going to work. We've got all the stats of the ships and everything, and we can create our own kind of little missions. So I'm thinking things like Star Wars X-Wing, the old computer game, and I suppose Squadrons more recently, where you had specific objectives that you had to follow, possibly hitting different parts of ships. You could have you kind of like mammoth ships. You could have different player ships as a squadron. So it's kind of pretty endless, really. And I think the app's going to just make the replayability and longevity of this game just massive. But from reading about all other people who have got the game, it sounds like the ship combat is stellar as it was right at the start. Just been tweaked and really improved. The space and the ground exploration is good. It sounds like it's good. It pushes the story along. Perhaps not as good as the ship based combat, but again, I don't think that's a problem. And that's what this game's about. You know, when you think about the app and creating your own scenarios and everything, you're not creating your own world exploration scenarios. You're creating the ship battle scenarios, and that's where this game really shined. Well, it certainly did, and what I'm really looking forward to. So that was the unboxing. Fingers crossed. We'll get some more content, painting ships, of course, as well as possibly playing through the campaign of Stars of Akarios. Thanks for watching, and keep gaming.